Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. We had our big perfume meetup yesterday. I think there were probably 15, 18 people maybe that came kind of at the last minute. A few people backed out, so I sent out a message like on Messenger just to a few neighbors like who I know are a little bit interested in perfume. I mean, nothing like us, but kind of that might want to come because I had sort of baked these cakes and I just thought that it would be nice because a lot of people brought things to sell and to swap and maybe they would find something. So at least, so 5 more people came that are not typically a part of like our fragrance nerd crowd, and we had great fun. And yesterday I asked people to make it a little more efficient because sometimes, you know, we do swap a lot and we do sniff each other's perfumes and have a great time, but people don't sell that much because we're like constantly walking around, and sometimes everyone's walking around and no one knows who owns what. So we had a little bit, it was a little bit more organized yesterday. So a little bit like a perfume flea market, maybe you could say. So I had put like little tags on the back like this. And I'm going to tell you about this particular perfume in a minute. And then I had a box and it said swap. So then people would know. And then I had my name. So everyone knew that this little corner is mine. And if you're interested in anything here, you could come and talk to me. So I did do a few swaps and I'll tell you about those. But it was just great fun. And it's pretty easy. Some new people came that I had never met, which is great fun as well. One of these people actually gave me Vanilj from a Swedish house called Maria Nije. And I think one of you guys recommended this to me. And she said if I liked it, I could keep it. This was like my little house gift. So, and I just tried a little squirt, and there were so many fragrances in the air, and I wasn't quite sure. But at first sniff, I really liked it. I'm going to be wearing it more. So that was one vanilla fragrance, and I also swapped another vanilla fragrance that I've had my nose on or my eyes on for a while, and I've gone through a decant, and it is Harvest Mouse from Zoologist, because this is kind of I've been a little bit on the fence about it, but there's something really special about this fragrance. Someone wrote somewhere, I don't know where I saw this or if someone told me this, that it really reminds them of Desired from Elixir. And Desired is a fragrance that I was just so hooked on maybe about a year ago. And I went through a sample and I was just oohing and ahhing about it. And then I kind of like started getting onto other things. So I ended up not getting a bottle. And it's also really, really pricey. They only come in like 30 ml bottles and they're like expensive. It was an extrait. I mean, it wasn't really more potent than a regular EDP, but it was expensive. So I just I skipped it. So that is my best tip for you guys. This is January. I'm guessing maybe some of you guys watching might have, you know, a period in your life where you're low on money, you're trying to stick to a budget. Maybe you decided to not buy so much perfume. And one kind of trick that really works for me when I feel that urge that I want to own something, I want to buy something, especially if it's like full retail price, it's at the store, there's no special deal, I just say I can have this, but not today. So just by, you know, delaying gratification, you know, delayed gratification is a thing. It's in like, you know, it's been researched in the field of psychology. So this is nothing I made up myself, but this is an application of, I guess, that thing. You know, I bet you've heard of the marshmallow trick. You know, like they would, they put 4-year-olds in a room, and they told them it was an experiment, and then they kind of, the results of this test actually predicted the success of these kids better than like SATs or something. They told the kids, you can either have 1 marshmallow now, or you can wait until I come back. I need to do a few things, and I'll come back. And if you wait, you can have 2 when I come back. And then whether they chose 1 now or 2 later, they kind of, you know, they documented all these results and they followed these kids through life. And this thing, being able to delay a gratification actually means a lot. And I think it's a practice. You know, you can really practice this. And my son has kind of addiction to fashion and to clothes. And he's even started using this little rule. You know, I can have it, but not today. Because by tomorrow, you know, maybe something like this has, you know, risen to the top of the agenda or the urge list. And then I can think the same of this. Maybe I can have this, but not today. And that way, maybe the urge for that first perfume will actually go away. And that's what happened to me with Desired. But Harvest Mouse it's a vanilla fragrance. I should have showed you the box. The presentation of Zoologist is incredible. It comes like in a little book-looking box with, it had like a, had the picture of a field on it. Like, it reminded me of a book I used to read as a kid about a mouse that became friends with a musician, and he lived inside the guitar of the musician, I think. And then the musician moved from the countryside to the city because it looks just like that mouse. It's a field mouse, and this has like notes of, it's not only vanilla. This is like, it has notes of, I'm turning my phone off, excuse me. It has notes of, I think, wheat maybe, beer, chamomile. So there's like meadow kind of notes in here. I'm sure it has saffron. I don't think it's listed though, just like Desired. And someone yesterday said, no, it's nothing like Desired. And that's what I thought too. But when I read it and I did a side-by-side, I'm talking about the dry down. The dry down is actually really similar between Harvest Mouse and Desired. This goes on softer. It's not really loud or anything. It's just kind of like cozy, nice. I mean, what else does it have? It has some unusual notes. I think this is really special. I think Davana is in here, which I'm not super familiar with, so I need to kind of dig into the notes of this. But I know what it's like since I've worn it before. And she got from me my Terrific Oud Extreme from By Terry. And By Terry is a house, I think that maybe that fragrance has really gone up in price. I looked at it, now it's like $500, but I didn't pay that much. I swapped it for something. I swapped it for a fragrance called This Ember from Ankakus that I bought when I was in Hungary that I just couldn't wear. It was just too heavy. And I paid like $180 for that. And I swapped it for this one, and this one is roughly that price. So I think and then I gave her a decant of a Journey Woman as well. And now I'll tell you a little bit about it. I just swapped this with a friend. Actually, not even for a fragrance. She got a pair of boots from me. Sometimes I just make a mistake sometimes of buying shoes that are slightly too small. Anyway, this fragrance is also a fragrance that I'm familiar with. I've been through a decant. It's not the note structure is not something that I typically gravitate towards. This has like apricot, I think nutmeg, osmanthus. It's very like powdery. Let me see. I have the notes here somewhere because I just kind of revisited it. And wrote the notes down again. It has nutmeg, cardamom, jasmine in the top. And then there's honey, mimosa. And honey is kind of a note that's grown on me a lot. Jasmine sambac, so another kind of jasmine, cedar, tobacco, saffron, cypriol oil or nagamotha, vanilla, and musk. This is like, I mean, it's very, very amouage-y. But it's just, I think it's very feminine, this fragrance, even though it has tobacco. It reminds me a little bit, it has a little touch of Sunshine Woman, a little bit Memoir Woman. God, what else does it remind me of? A speck of Guidance, perhaps. It's really good, and it stays with you all day long. Performance is incredible. And the bottle is stunning. I mean, look at that. This is their best bottle, for sure. Maybe Overture Woman is a speck nicer, but that one's so unwearable. I had put it up for swap yesterday, and no one was interested because it's so hard to wear, that Overture Woman. And now I've started to see Overture Woman at discount sites. So it started out like as a Harrods exclusive. Like you could only find it there. And then it started to like pop up in finer perfumeries. I bought mine in Warsaw when I was there, not last summer, it was the summer of 2022, I think. I bought my bottle there at full retail price. I should not have done that. And it was just not, it was a really good example of kind of an impulse buy because I was traveling, because I had too little time. I was with my kids. I had like an hour and a half in there, and they had like 95 different perfume houses represented in this incredible store in Warsaw. God, what is the name of it? It's a store, and it's kind of inside the Marriott Hotel, if I remember correctly. Really nice people that work there, but they wouldn't let me spray. They had to spray everything. So they would walk around and put the little, they would write on the strip with a pencil and then would lay it out. And I had to ask for everything, kind of like a lot of things were behind counters, and they didn't want people. Maybe it was a little bit because of the pandemic, but I don't know. I think that wasn't the reason. I think the reason was that that's the kind of service they wanted to give. Anyway, then I'd like to tell you about this one I bought. This is called Sensual Rubis. Sensual with a kind of a French spelling, it looks like, with an E, from Amia de Mars. It's an organic brand. And I have really been digging through this house. I've tried like seven or eight fragrances from there, and I found them all really nice, but I think this one was a mistake. They were all so similar, so I couldn't tell them apart. But let's see, Mythique Iris, Mystique Amethyst, and Dew Sapphire. Those were the ones that I really, really liked, but I kind of got it mixed up, and I thought that maybe this was one of them, because those are kind of like very powdery fragrances. One of them has almond, another one has tonka, and then one is more of a heliotrope fragrance. They're really, really nice fragrances, and I like the idea of an all-organic brand, and just when you want to feel like you don't wear unnecessary chemicals. But this one is just too fruity, I have decided. This is like, let's see what this one has. I mean, it has, I don't have the notes written down, but I just looked them up. They're like, it has like raspberry. And I think that maybe this, I just sprayed it on my hand here. I'm actually wearing something else. I'm going to tell you about it in a minute, a fragrance today called Echoes of Silence. And I've talked about it briefly on my channel before. But I just put this on my hand just before I came online here. And I like everything but the fruitiness. And I don't think I'll reach for this. That's why I decided to sell it, and at a low price. Same price I bought it for. I bought this like on our version of eBay called Tradiera. Yeah, so that'll have to move on. I don't think I'll wear that. That was a mistake. Then I swapped this little cutie. It's a 15 mil. This is quite an expensive fragrance. Look at the color of this juice. They use 90% natural ingredients. It's called Echoes of Silence, and it's from the house Christele Jacquemin. This is kind of a very small house. Not many people have rated this, but it's really interesting, this fragrance. The opening is a little bit difficult. It smells kind of like lemongrass, lemon tree, lemon, citronella. Some people have written about on Fragrantica, which I really think is also kind of like, that it's an ingredient in a lot of like mosquito repellent. So I think that I understand. I mean, it has a difficult opening, but when it dries down, which it has now, because I put this on early this morning, it's really interesting. It projects. It is green. It is herbal. It has notes of, it has like rhododendron leaves. It has cinnamon, I think. It has, let me see. I think I tried this at the beginning of the year. I went through a sample. I really, really enjoyed it. But then when I came up to the shop that sold it, I was kind of like, maybe I won't wear it. It's kind of odd. Let me just tell you here, I've got it. She's the perfumer. Her name is Christele Jacquemin. It came out in 2022. In the beginning of the year, it only had 7 votes on Fragrantica, and now it's gone up to like 24. Lemon tree, Litsea cubiba, a lemon-like sharp smell with a sweet undertone. Turmeric, lemon and mint or spearmint, and then it has artichoke and rose, and it does have a really vegetal feeling. And artichoke I can only find like in 2 fragrances on Fragrantica, so that's a really unusual kind of smell. I mean, they describe it as, I mean, you know what an artichoke smells like if you smell the heart. It's really has a special smell, fleshy, bitter, fatty, green, earthy, and slightly sweet and warm. It's used in Eau Rose from Diptyque. I haven't tried that one. I just thought that was interesting. I thought I would maybe go and sniff on it, even though I don't love rose. Then it also has Mastique and Lentisque, or it's the same name. I mean, it's a note that has 2 different names, which is like a fresh balsamic turpentine-like scent that is used in, what is that fragrance called? it's used like in fresher kind of fragrances. You very rarely see mustique like in an ambery resinous kind of fragrance. But this is some kind of a resin. I think it comes from trees that grow close to the ocean, if I remember right. Ravageur, it has mastic. And also Overture Man, which I do want to revisit. And then something called Holy Stick Fruit, which I know nothing about, and Palo Santo and Rosewood. This is super not a safe blind buy. This is really like a lot. I mean, my friend Clara didn't like this at all. The person who bought this, she was kind of like, she never wore it. I mean, look, she's hardly touched it. So I can't really recommend it because it's a really, if you can try it, but I would never recommend it for you to buy it. Maybe to buy a sample, perhaps. But it is, the dry down is so, it's so special. I love this. I mean, this is, it's not anything I'll wear every day. I'll probably wear it like working around the house or like running errands or something. I would never wear this like to some big event or anything like that. Not a people pleaser at all. Okay, I have a few more fragrances to tell you about. My son actually worked or did some kind of like a school internship at a secondhand place, and they didn't sell perfumes, but someone had handed in a bag of minis, and he was supposed to take them to this other secondhand place. Instead, he brought them home to me. I thought that wasn't really okay of him to do, but that was a really sweet thing for him to do. And he said they're going to donate them anyway, so you know. And then I decided to keep a few fragrances from this mini collection, and a few I passed on yesterday. Let's see. One of the ones I decided to keep is a scent marketed towards men. It's a little mini 7 milliliter called New West from the house of Aramis. And for one reason, I just tried Calligraphy Rose from the same house, and I'm just really, really intrigued by this fragrance. That was one reason. But the other reason was that this is a splash. I don't typically like splash, but is that it has a really, really prominent pine note. And I'm going to have like a testing, like a group coming here on the 17th of February, and I want to kind of have something to show them within kind of like a more forest type note trick. Sorry, that's my washing machine beeping. This whole house beeps. I have the microwave beeping, I have this beeping, that beeping. When we first moved in, I had no idea what beep, you know, what's signaling to me now. It's just annoying. This is, I haven't worn this yet, but it is really, really piney. And I just found it really interesting, and I'm going to wear it one of these days, and I'll tell you more about it. I think this is kind of an older scent. I haven't taken the notes on that one yet. But then there was another mini in here that I really, really enjoyed that I wore yesterday morning. Everyone came at 2. So I basically spent the whole morning. I was baking, I was preparing, I was cleaning the house. This is why I need to have people over ever so often, because that's when I kind of clean up and put things away. And I feel I really need that because I'm starting my new job on Wednesday. So I'm really trying to get organized. Excuse me for a minute. I'm going to close the door here, so I don't have to listen to that. Okay. So, I think a morning without a fragrance on, I thought maybe I should go, you know, fragrance free because I'll be, you know, trying so many things in the afternoon, but it's a waste of time, you know. I want to wear something. So I tried this on, and this is a fragrance. I'm not sure if they make this anymore. I should have checked, but I didn't. It's called Lyra with a Y. It's not Lyra like Casa Morati. It's Lyra, Lyra, from Alain Delon. And it came out in 1993. So this is old. I'm not sure about this particular mini, but it is in excellent shape. At least I don't think there's anything off about it. And I wore it yesterday, and I enjoyed it so much. It's like a beautiful amber, kind of a lighter kind of amber, like Shalimar, a little bit like Musc Ravageur. I think it's not so much heard of. It only has 151 votes on Fragrantica, but the average rating is 4.24, which is really high. Let's see what else I wrote here. Oh, right. It was created by 2 perfumers, Maurice Roussel and Christine Nagel. And one of the perfumers, Maurice, actually is the perfumer of Musc Ravageur. So, you know, maybe, and I think someone wrote that he kind of you know, this was already created, and then he found like a little twist to it, and then created this big hit, Musc Ravageur, and this one kind of got forgotten about. But this is really pretty, and it does remind me of Musc Ravageur. Maybe that's why I like it so much. He has also created Dans tes bras, which I don't know much about. 24 Faubourg from Hermès, which I have had and gotten rid of. Addictive Vibration, which I've worn before. It's from Initio, and it smells a lot like candy. Candy to me, but elegant. Tocade from, is this from Rochas? Kind of a woman in gold kind of fragrance. And Iris Silver Mist. So, I mean, he's kind of a perfumer that's done a lot. And Christine Nagel, the other perfumer, has done The One from Dolce Gabbana, C from Armani, which I think is a big hit. I don't like it personally. And she's also made Elixir Charnel Gourmand Coquin, which is now coming out from under a new name. I don't know why Guerlain does this. You know, they use the exact same formula and they change the name. I don't know really the reason for that. Maybe because Elixir Charnel Gourmand Coquin is a hopeless name. Maybe that's why. Then I really think that makes sense. And then H24 from Hermès, she's made, and many Jo Malone fragrances. Highly, highly recommend. This has like, let's see what it has, anything special. In the note, really nothing. It has rosewood, lemon, bergamot, neroli in the top. Kind of a citrusy top, just like Shalimar. Then Iris Ylang Ylang, let's see, rose and jasmine in the mid. And then vanilla, amber, tonka, benzoin, sandalwood, patchouli, musk, and cedar. I mean, I think it does have probably a lot of notes in common with Shalimar. I haven't done any side-by-side, but Musc Ravageur has lavender, which is not listed here. What else does it have? Maybe cardamom? I can't remember. I mean, I don't remember notes like that, but it does have something. And another thing I noticed about this is that I got the feeling that it had ambergris, because I was getting these like whiffs of natural ambergris. I have a fragrance called Escale en Indonésie from Les Indemudables that's made with natural ambergris, and I get the same little. This came like in the long dry down. God, I love this. I'm keeping this. I'm gonna use this up definitely. But I don't, and also see if I could find a bottle. So it's Lyra from Alain Delon. I don't know about this Alain Delon. Are they still active? I have to do some research definitely on this. Okay, so what else have I now recently picked up? I did buy also a little decant from a friend last week. It's Scarlet Poppy Intense. I've been kind of passing by stores in the city, and every time I pass by, I've had a little squirt of this, and I've been a little intrigued. Have not been able to stop sniffing my hand, but now I don't know. Now I'm like, this is why I should not have it today. You know, I want it. I can have it, but I can't have it today. But I can have a decant. I can have 3 ml. So this fragrance is like, I think it has like poppy seed, but I don't know what that smells like. I can see if I can find these notes. This was a while back. Let's see. What I can tell you that I think it has cashmere on. So I think that's what's kind of putting me off right now. Let's see if I can find it. I don't think I can find it. It's somewhere in my notes. It has, I think maybe it's musk. It's pretty sweet. Maybe it's too sweet for me. It's a musky vanilla, but it has something interesting in here as well. I'm going to give this more a proper wearing, get back to you on it. I wore it at night when I had been to the gym like last week, and I was like, it bothered me. I was like, wait a minute, I don't know if I like this. It's too sweet. But I'm sensitive to sweet fragrances sometimes. And then other times I really crave sweet fragrances. Like I really, really enjoy a sweet fragrance. So it's kind of a mood thing, I guess. Anyway, I'm getting ready for my, I wanted to see if there's one of these I want to tell you about first. Just a minute here. No, I don't think it was anything more from yesterday. It was just great fun yesterday, though. I tried some new great fragrances. Splendid Wood is really good from YSL. What else did I try yesterday that was interesting? I was just so busy, just walking around, you know, talking to people. Just so much fun, and it was fun that my neighbors came and they bought some little. I think they bought mostly like a little bit cheaper fragrances, but I'm happy to kind of get them into it. It's fun. And they had a good time, and they were talking to each other, but they were also talking to all of my perfume friends. It was really fun. But now I'm getting organized. I'm trying to iron all my clothes. I also started the process of selling the house. I've really gotten myself in order. I know, like, where do I have Band-Aids? Where do I have tape? Safety pins, anything that I like, where I have, everything has a place, pretty much. And I really, really enjoy that. And also not having so much out. I have things still in boxes, like I'm ready to move if someone wants to buy the house. And I don't need so many things in the kitchen. I don't need everything to be like packed. And I'm going to get rid of some clothes today. I bought some new clothes. Last week I actually bought a lot of new shoes. Boots I haven't bought boots for 6 years, so I really needed some like nice boots. I'm pretty much all set now. So on my list today is to, like, stock up on some things that I need to do. I'm going to talk to a new real estate agent and see if there's any way of selling the house where I don't need to be so active. I just can at least let them know my price, and that if they find someone that wants the house, they can at least contact me, and I can maybe show the house myself. I don't know. And we can work out some kind of a deal, because I can't have the showings that I had all fall. It's just too much work and focusing on a new job at the same time. So another thing I'm going to try to do is to, like, cook in batches, maybe, and also like make overnight oats on Sunday so I can have an easy breakfast just to pull out. So I'm a little nervous. I'm going to be really, really busy, and already next week I'll be traveling. We're going to Gothenburg, like a whole gang from the company. So I'm really excited. It's just going to be big change, but I'm ready for it. So yeah. Anyway, please comment on these fragrances. Have you tried Harvest Mouse? Have you tried Journey Woman? Has anybody heard of Echoes of Silence or this brand, Christele Jacquemin? Anyway, or Scarlet Poppy Intense. That's not such an unusual fragrance. Maybe some of you guys have heard of it and have opinions about it. Or this beautiful Lyra from Alain Delon. I really, really have been enjoying that. Yeah, that was all for today, guys.